G'day bike riders, welcome back to another video about bicycle infrastructure, or lack thereof. Today we're looking at the Geelong Train Station, getting there and parking your bike. I'm the Bike Route Buddy, bringing you bicycle infrastructure reviews from Geelong and further afield. Here we are again in Geelong, Victoria, Australia. We're at the main Geelong railway station, located in the centre of Geelong, only a short distance to the main shopping and business area. The station principally serves people travelling to and from Melbourne, about 1 hour away by train. However, some people that work in Geelong may catch the train from one of the other 6 stations to the centre, including Warn Ponds, Marshall, South Geelong, North Shore and Corio. There has been a lot of talk in the local media about chaos in the car park at the train station, and there have been some calls, mainly by the local media outlets, for a car park upgrade to accommodate more cars. Let's have a look at the station and see if there are any alternatives to allow more people to use the station without having to drive. The train station is located on the edge of the central business district, and it looks like it was originally a station as a destination for rail passengers, rather than the start of journeys. There is not a huge amount of housing immediately nearby, but there are some new apartment blocks being built within easy walking distance. With the fast rail, slow rail by European standards, linked to Melbourne, it has attracted more commuter journeys. Many people drive their cars to the train station and leave their cars there all day. There are about 450 spaces on the west side of the tracks and 136 spaces on the east side, so that's approximately 600 spaces, or if each car contained one person, it is about one train's worth of people. These cars are parked here all day, and from what I can tell, it is free for train and other public transport users. I've never parked a car here, so I don't really know for sure, and I can't see a sign with any pricing. This is high-value central Geelong real estate, and it has been used to store empty cars all day. I'm not a commercial real estate agent, but from what I can work out from a bit of research is that an office space is rented for about $250 per square metre per annum. If a car park is 5.4 metres by 2.5 metres, that is 13.5 square metres per car park, which totals a subsidised value of each car park of $3,375 per year. I know you are saying that these car parks are not offices, so if we say $100 per square metre per year for the land, the subsidised value is still $1,350 per car park. I would think that people are not travelling all that far to this station, as it is only 2 kilometres to the South Geelong Train Station, which has a huge car park, although South Geelong Station is currently closed for redevelopment at the time of making this video. It is also 2.5 kilometres to North Geelong Train Station that also has a huge car park, so it seems that most people are travelling only a few kilometres to park here. So what are the alternatives for the 600 people driving to the train station? There is public transport with a huge bus terminal at the station, and nearly all bus routes stop here. This is definitely an option. However, I'm the bike route buddy, not the bus route buddy, so I'll leave that one there. We've looked at the car parking facilities, so now we'll take a look at the bike parking facilities. At the northern end of the platform, there is a secure bike locking shed, which is free, and it looks like you need a car to get into it. It looks reasonably secure and has a roof to protect the bikes parked in it. I counted space for about 30 bikes in this cage, and it occupies the space of about 2 car parks. So it is a much more efficient use of valuable real estate. On the day of filming, there were about 12 bikes in the shed. It is tucked way down the end of the platform, probably in one of the less convenient locations. There are some CCTV cameras nearby, but I think they are pointing at the platform, and probably don't capture the bike storage. V-Line provides these facilities at both North Geelong and South Geelong stations as well. There are also 8 bike hoops on the platform, so room for about 16 bikes. They look pretty new judging by how white the concrete is at the base, but I wouldn't be leaving my bike locked on one of these and going to Melbourne for the day, as I would probably be walking home from the station when I got off the train on my way home. Many people looking for alternatives to driving to the station might ride and lock their bikes at one of these hoops as a trial on their first day. There are many stories from many places that people only ever ride their bike to the station once, as when they get back off the train, their bike is gone. The bike shed we looked at earlier has helped to reduce this problem, but bike theft from train stations could be a national sport. I will just throw this one in from an international comparison. This is the bike parking at an Amsterdam Central train station. There is room for 18,000 bikes, and no one would ever think of driving their car to this train station. Okay, so the bike parking facilities are reasonable for Australian standards, but what does it look like riding to the train station? There are only 3 entries to the train station. This is the first one, so I guess I'm not getting my bike up there. The second one says buses only. In Victoria, you're permitted to ride in a bus lane unless signed otherwise. So if it says buses only and is not signed as a bus lane, I guess you can't ride in there. It's a little ambiguous, but I don't really want to be mixing it up with buses where they are just stopping and starting and turning and potentially getting caught in a blind spot. I guess you'd have to get off and walk in, and the bike shed is at the furthest away point from here. The entry off Mercer Street and Train Shed Way is the best, but if you're coming from the west side, it's a long way around, and you have to ride on Mercer Street, which we will look at shortly. So there is only one viable entrance to the station if you're on a bike. How about the routes to get to the station? Well, let's start at the southern link along Jerringap Street, which is where bike riders are directed to ride. As we approach Little Mallop Street, the bike lane just disappears for a block to provide parking for 10 people to leave their cars. I've contacted the City of Greater Geelong numerous times about this, but they don't want to take away the 10 car parking spaces to accommodate space for bike riders. So here I am pushed into traffic. We then get a painted bike gutter around the corner into the Railway Terrace intersection. If I was going in via the bus entrance, I would go left here, but I'm heading for Train Shed Way, down Mercer Street, which we are now on. Over the intersection, the painted bike gutter gets narrow and disappears. With this close pass by this red Mazda, my bike riding days to the train station are now over before I even get there. If I was a new bike commuter, that would have finished it for me. I hope that was caught on the CCTV cameras right out the front of the police station. The bike lane disappears again to provide free 2-hour parking right out the front of the police station. This route is on the principal bicycle network, but I can't see anything that is principal or bicycle or network about this route. Oh look, after putting my life in the driver of that red Mazda's hands, we have another painted bike gutter again, so at least the middle word in the statement principal bicycle network can be ticked off with a bike stencil on the road. Mercer Street was also on the active travel maps, where you can use the map for your local area to start planning ways of getting to the places you go regularly, such as your local school or workplace. After we highlighted how misleading these maps were, directing people on bikes onto fast, busy roads, and roads such as Mercer Street, they have been removed from the City of Greater Geelong's website. We did a whole video on Mercer Street some months back. Have a look for it on this channel. That 300 metres long Mercer Street was pretty hair-raising, but I now turn into Train Shed Way and I have made it. It's still a bit of a ride through the huge car park, the smaller of the 2 car parks provided, and I'm now at the bike parking. Let's try coming along Fenwick Street, as there is a painted car door zone bike lane along here. Unfortunately, it is full of buses, and when we get to the intersection, we're at the buses only sign mentioned earlier. So I guess I'm turning right and going along Mercer Street as we just explored. Let's try our luck coming in from Geelong West. We will start on Gordon Avenue, which has a painted bike lane in the car door zone, so it's not a great start. We have to cross Latrobe Terrace, also known as the Princes Highway, and once on Latrobe Terrace, it's 3 lanes of traffic from gutter to gutter. I'm not riding in there, and you can't ride on the footpath in Victoria unless you're 13 or accompanying someone under 13. This next section has a bus lane, so I'm allowed to ride in this, but it still doesn't feel great. A casual rider heading to the station is probably not going to be that comfortable with mixing it with buses. The footpath to the left is no-go, as mentioned, and now we are back at the bus entrance, about to take the long way around and enter via Mercer Street. So in summary, there is reasonable secure bike parking by Australian standards. The entrances for bike riders could definitely be improved with some signage to direct riders where they should go, but by far the biggest barrier is the bicycle network immediately around the station. So what do we want? More valuable space taken up for car parking to fit in a few more cars? Or should we be putting more investment into alternative methods of getting to the train station? The second option is going to be a lot cheaper and far more future-proofed. We've also got to consider that so many people live within an easy bike riding distance of this station. Once again, thanks for watching. I'm the Bike Route Buddy. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you riding your bike to your local train station.